LifeInDecibel here. You know, I'm a musician, or at least I believe I am. I play guitar, and I've been playing almost my whole life. And I love music. I play music, I listen to music. Music is my world. Well, I've been in a lot of bands, and currently I'm bandless. I'm playing with a couple people that I don't know what's going to happen yet. However, I am bandless. And being that I'm not from Texas, I've lived here about a year, a little over a year. I don't have the networking that a lot of other musicians down here do. So for me to find musicians, I have to use good old Craigslist. Now, Craig, he's a pretty cool guy. He makes things available for me. And I have most of my experiences through Craigslist, purchasing things, selling things, have been really good. Meeting musicians been 50-50. Now, I met a couple musicians. I want to talk about one of them today. That it's the craziest story. That's at least for what's happened to me since I've been down here in Texas. So I put out an ad, you know, looking for a band. This is what I play. This is the kind of music I play. What is my influences, gear, all that sort of fun stuff. So I put that out, and I get a bunch of responses, and one guy responds, and he said, he asked my age. I'm trying to remember exactly how this went down, because I don't want to get this wrong, because it's the funniest thing. So he asked me how old I am, right? And I tell him I'm 30. And the whole age thing, that's another vlog I can get into. Let's see if this guy waves. All right, look at that. Cruiser and sport bike love, peace and harmony. Back on topic. You know, he asked me how old I am. I tell him I'm 30. And I asked him about his band, and it seems one that I'd be interested in, you know. And he's like, oh, well, we're all about 18. Well, I mean, I'll play music with anybody. I mean, if you are not a douchebag and you're not high off your, you know, you're not stoned out of your mind, and you can play, I'll play with you. You know, to me, music it's something that anybody can. If you've got it, you've got it, and I mean, that's just it. You know. So he's like, oh, you're too old, this and that. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I understand. And I get that a lot for some reason. I don't know why. But I guess once you turn 29, people stop playing guitar? Or I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. However, I digress. So he tells me, oh, I'm too old, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. Well, during this time, I went to go meet with a bass player that had responded to my ad. And he's like, hey, I'm going to put something together. I play bass, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I go meet up with him. We play. And I'm gone from home for about 2-3 hours, you know, including drive times to and from where I met the bass player at, playing time, and all that other fun stuff. So I was gone for a couple hours. I come home, right, you know, and get ready for work the next day and everything. And my wife is sitting there in the living room, and I get out of the shower. My voicemail dings, or not my voicemail, I'm sorry, my text message thing on my phone dings off. And I was like, oh, who's texting me at this hour? And and this was like, I think like a Wednesday night. And my wife saw like, yeah, that's you know, so I was like, well, can you check it for me? Well, somebody who I don't know, it was just a number, a name didn't show up, was not somebody I had on my contact list, had sent me a text saying, can I have a nude picture? And my wife got, I wouldn't say upset, but she was kind of like, what? And she's like, who are you sending nude pictures to? And now, okay, this immediately comes into my head. I've never been unfaithful to my wife, never have, never will be. It doesn't even cross my mind. You know, I'm very old school like that. And I believe you make a commitment, and you stick with that commitment. And if you're not happy with said commitment, remove yourself from that situation before doing anything with anyone else. And she knows that, you know. But what are you gonna feel, or how are you gonna think if somebody sends you your spouse or whatever saying, hey, how about a nude picture? So I'm like, what do you mean, how about a nude picture? She goes, that's what that says. I'm like, you have to be kidding me. She said, no, So I'm like, what the hell? So I look at the number. I don't know the number. I don't recognize it. And so I'm like, what the fuck, right? Well, I'm thinking, how could this, you know, how could, what is this? What am I going to do? So I'm like, all right, I don't want her to think I'm cheating on her, because I'm not. And I've got to find a way to prove it, because, I mean, that's just kind of, I don't want it to ever come up again and say, well, this one time, you know, not saying she'd do that, but, you know, with women, you never know. So I called the number that had texted me, put it on speaker, and a dude answers the phone. And he's like, yeah, hello? And I'm like, yeah, dude, you want a nude picture of me? He's like, click, hangs up the phone. So I'm like, all right, well, there you go. It was a guy, for one, and you know I don't do that, for sure. And for two, he obviously panicked because he had the wrong number. And I'm still like, how do, you know, and then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I bet I know what this number's from. So I went back to my previously looked stuff on Craigslist, my history, and I saw that it was the same number matching the guy I contacted for the band earlier. So I showed it to my wife. I'm like, look, this is where this guy came from. He's 18. He's probably drinking or whatever. And that was the end of it. So, I mean, the interesting people you meet on Craigslist, music-wise, it's just... It's interesting. I don't know anywhere else to put it. So until next time, ride safe.